family, you're doing schooling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How has it been? I think it's been easier for you than other people because you're at home all the time, so you can kind of do it. But that doesn't mean it's not stressful. It doesn't mean it's not better if they could be in.
It still gets stressful because I don't have a fucking bachelor's in childhood education.
Yeah.
So like tactics that I use for parenting, some apply to learning, some don't.
Right.
And I'm trying to be as nurturing as I can, but it's going pretty well. I mean, she's a smart kid. Last year was way more involved. Now they have it to where the teachers are on Zoom all day. And they're running classes where she has to sign into all these different classes. I have a schedule hung on my desk. We have all these books. You know, there's a whole syllabus that sits online. Like we can access her grades in real time and what projects are done and what still needs to be. So it's super comprehensive, and they put a lot of thought into it. But they learned what was fucked up in the previous semesters last school year where we tried all online learning, and it was a bumblefuck for the first like 3 months.
Oh yeah, I forgot this stuff hit in March.
Yeah, this is a
so
this is
I
a
mean
whole
that was
different,
still kind of the school year. I'm so old. I haven't been in college.
My daughter left second grade during COVID and went into third grade during COVID and had 2 different ways of learning.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
From a kid's perspective,
dude,
to be in the world right now and to be
breaks.
looking around and not fully understanding, but yet still knowing that something's not right.
She knows it's fucked. But we went camping the other weekend, and we brought a walkie-talkie, 2 walkie-talkies, and her bike. And it was a campsite that it was like out in the Pennsylvania wilderness, and they had a little electricity box and some running water at a spigot somewhere up the road, and it was like small. There was like maybe like 60, 50 campsites.
Yeah.
And we pulled up, and there's this little girl her age riding a bike with a helmet on. And the car hadn't even stopped yet. My daughter goes, "Dad, can I get out? I want to say hi to that girl." I'm like, okay. And we're in COVID. So in time, I'm freaking out inside my mind. But I'm like, I want her to have somewhat of a fucking enjoyable time. So I said, "Sweetheart, remember, don't eat any of their food. Don't hug your new friend or shake her parents' hands, but be nice, but try to stay at a distance. But go ride your fucking bike and have fun."
Yeah.
There was no cell service. We had no phones. She had a walkie-talkie strapped to her sweatshirt, and she rode her bike around a campsite for an entire weekend. So, like, that's the shit that brings me joy, that, like, we can still do things like that. Even in a fucking global pandemic, there's still growth. There's still learning. So, like, all the things that she's missing from online school, we still try to go. Like, she plays with the neighbor boys. They go on the trampoline. They ride their bikes. They play with the dog. You know what I mean? Like, we try to still do things outdoors with kids her age, so she doesn't feel as isolated as the adults feel.
I'm